Imagine a world on the brink where two rival kingdoms, bloodied from centuries of war, stare hungrily at uncharted horizons. One man's wild miscalculation ignites a voyage that shatters empires and redraws the map of existence. But what if the greatest discovery in history was built on a lie? Not about the shape of the earth, but about its size. Everyone remembers the tale of Christopher Columbus, proving the world was round. That's the myth they've fed us since school. Educated minds from ancient Greece onward knew the earth was a sphere. Sailors navigated by its curve for generations. No, the real scandal was Columbus's deadly error in measuring its girth. He slashed the planet's circumference by a quarter, convinced Asia lay just a few thousand miles west across the Atlantic. Experts at the Spanish court laughed him out of the room, warning his crew would starve before sighting land. Yet against all reason, he sailed. This is the story of that reckless bet, the clash of worlds it unleashed, and the audacious line that split the globe in two, igniting a firestorm of conquest that still burns today. Picture Spain in 1492, a nation forged in the fires of the Reconquista. For 7 centuries, Christian kings had clawed back the Iberian Peninsula from Muslim rulers, each battle a brutal testament to survival. On January 2nd that year, the last Moorish stronghold of Granada finally crumbles. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella stand triumphant amid the rubble, their coffers swollen with spoils, their faith unyielding. But victory tastes bittersweet. Across the border, Portugal has stolen a march in the great race for the seas. Under the visionary Prince Henry the Navigator, they've conquered Ceuta in North Africa back in 1415, probing down the continent's coast, trading in gold and ivory, charting routes that whisper of riches beyond the horizon. They've rounded capes, evaded storms, and built an empire on the waves, while Spain was mired in holy war. Now, with the Reconquista won, Ferdinand and Isabella turn their eyes outward. They crave not just glory, but gold to fund endless crusades. Enter Christopher Columbus, a Genoese dreamer with salt in his veins and delusion in his charts. He's bounced from court to court. Portugal's King John II dismissed him as a fool years earlier. But Columbus persists, pitching his plan like a desperate merchant hawking silks. Sail west, he says, and you'll hit the spice islands of Chipango in weeks. Gold, slaves, converts to the cross, all yours for a fraction of the overland trek. The stakes couldn't be higher. Ferdinand haggles, Isabella wavers, but the Queen sees a divine gamble. She pawns her jewels to outfit 3 rickety caravels, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. On August 3rd, 1492, they slip from Palos de la Frontera into the unknown. The crew mutinies twice. Sails fray in gales, provisions dwindle to biscuits and brackish water. Columbus clings to his flawed maps, whispering prayers as the edge of the world looms. Failure means ruin for Spain's dreams, success, and empire. But what if the ocean hides not Asia, but something far more perilous? Dawn breaks on October 12th, a thin cry from the crow's nest. Tierra, tierra. Not the gold-flecked shores of Japan, but a low, green island in the Bahamas. Guanahani, to the people who call it home. Shift your gaze now, not to the triumphant Europeans, but to the Taino watching from the mangroves. These are no primitives in grass skirts, but a thriving people. Their villages humming with cassava farms, hammocks swaying in thatched bojios, canoes slicing jade waters. They've mastered the stars, traded parrots and cotton across the Antilles, lived in harmony with the spirits of sea and soil for generations. Then these alien vessels appear, winged monsters with billowing sails like thunderclouds, belching smoke from iron throats. The Taino paddle out, curious, offering guava and fish, their bodies painted in red ochre, gold nose rings glinting. Columbus mistakes them for islanders of the Indies, dubs them Indios, and marvels at their innocence. They have no arms and are without a war, he writes, naked as the day they were born. But beneath the ore lurks calculation. These gentlefolk, he notes, could be easily swayed to Christianity, or subjugated. The cultural chasm yawns wide. Where Taínos see communal bounty, Columbus envisions tribute. Their wooden spears against Toledo steel, herbal law against cannon fire. He claims the land for Spain in a hasty rite, erecting a cross and naming it San Salvador. Yet in his journals, the truth slips. No silks, no porcelain, just naked paradises, teeming with potential slaves. The Taíno, sensing the shadow, trade trinkets for hawks' bells, but the exchange sours fast. Columbus presses onto Cuba and Hispaniola, bartering for gold nuggets, chaining 6 natives to drag back as proof. He leaves 39 men at La Navidad Fort, promising swift return. The worlds collide not in glory, but in quiet catastrophe. And Columbus? To his dying breath in 1506, he insists these are Asia's fringes, the Indies' edge. His discovery was accident wrapped in arrogance, a new continent, blind to its own unveiling, dooming millions in the crossfire. Word of this triumph races back to Lisbon like wildfire. Portugal erupts in fury. King John II, no stranger to the seas, smells theft. His caravels have hugged Africa's curve for decades, inching toward India's fabled ports. Now Spain vaults ahead, claiming the western route. War drums beat, diplomats clash. Enter the Pope, Alexander VI, a Spaniard-born Rodrigo Borgia, whose throne in Rome commands the faithful. In 1493, he issues the bull Inter Caetera, slicing the globe with a papal pen. A north-south meridian, 100 leagues west of the Cape Verde Islands, divides all undiscovered lands. East for Portugal, the African path theirs alone. West for Spain, the newfound West their prize. But John II balks. The line favors Spain too greedily. Negotiations rage in the sun-baked town of Tordesillas. Envoys haggle over maps, invoking God and gold, until June 7, 1494, they ink the treaty. Push the line 270 leagues farther west, and peace holds. With the Pope's blessing, 2 Catholic crowns arrogantly partition the planet. Non-Christian realms, east of the line Portugal's, west Spain's. Billions of souls, unconsulted, parceled like estates. Brazil would straddle the divide, a Portuguese foothold in South America. The Philippines would fall to Spain's grasp. But this solution reeks of hubris. What right has Rome to gift continents to Iberian swords? The stakes skyrocket. Empires rise on this fiction. Indigenous blood soaks the soil. Fortunes flow in rivers of silver and sugar. Yet the treaty's arrogance blinds them to the storm brewing. This invisible meridian didn't end the rivalry. It lit the fuse for a global frenzy. Spain floods the Americas with conquistadors, toppling Aztecs and Incas in a haze of pox and pikes. Portugal carves spice empires from Malacca to Mozambique, their forts dotting distant shores. The line holds for the faithful, but whispers spread. What of Protestant England, defiant under Henry VIII? France, simmering with Valois ambition, the Dutch rising like a mercantile phoenix. They scoff at papal fiat, launching privateers to plunder galleons, seeding colonies from Virginia to the Cape. Pirates hoist black flags over azure waves. Corporate armadas like the Dutch East India Company storm the gates. The world, once neatly halved, fractures into a brawl of cannons and charters, consequences cascading through centuries. Slavery's chains, revolution's sparks, borders etched in gunpowder. Spain and Portugal believed they'd cornered the globe, but the treaty's ink barely dried before the wolves arrived. What happens when the rest of Europe declares the Pope's line null, unleashing an age of plunder and private war? That chaos erupts in episode 3. If dividing the world with a pen shocks you to your core, hit that like button. It fuels more untold truths. Subscribe now, ring the bell, and join the thousands uncovering history's hidden blades. Your journey into the Age of Empires starts here.